a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on it. So cold yet warm when you hold me, when you close. I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray. It's the last thing that I need. Wanna feel something that's real. With you I get that. You're like a lighthouse in a dream. Really distant but your beam is guiding me home. So cold yet warm when you hold me, when you close. I know I'm a lost case, I'm a mess. But everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray.
With the text on XO, my ace boom boom, no flex, no. I won't gas you up like petrol. Just trying to take you way up where the jets go. But you didn't notice that. Keep clocking all my hours, I told you that. Work now, play later, but you keep going off on me. Keep texting like it's all on me. Yeah, you're all in my head like you're my forever, not for right now. My day one, you hold me down. Heart cold like the wintertime. Fight for your love, can't slow me down, don't go far. I take me and you over living large. Know I'll be there wherever you are. Cause you shine bright like a shooting star.
Everything feels a little bit lighter with you. Something's letting me heal. You're making it brighter right through the gray.
Boom. There we are. Good afternoon, everyone. Who have we got in? Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. I've been asked to do a few more of these, so we are doing it. We are doing it. Right, let's have a look. We got Bad Scratching. Posh Podcast is here. Yo ho ho. Yeah, you'll be very happy, won't you? Defeat for us. Bad scratches here. Let's have a look. Bad Stockport County fan enters the live chat. Hello, Lee. Good afternoon. Bad scratch. David, hi, David, you're here. Poor selection and tactics, terrible execution by the players. Mid-table beckons this season, David. Yes, it was a bit disappointing one. I think everybody was a little bit disappointed. Let's just get this everything on that. Yeah. Bad scratch. What was that? Yesterday, Blackpool sinking to a defeat at Ipswich. Stockport was live on BT Sport last night against Yeovil Town. Another win for Stockport. Joint second now in the National League. Wow, that's really good. That's excellent. That is excellent. No, it's not so good for us, I'm afraid to say. Right, so I've been looking on the fans forums as I did last time, and I've been having a look at what people have been saying. I think the general feeling, which is similar to how I was feeling before the game, I wasn't keen on the match. The team selection by Critch, and I just wasn't keen on it at all. When I saw it, I thought, why is he not playing Sims and Medine up front if we've not Sims and Yates up front if we've not got Medine? It just didn't make any sense. And I thought Ipswich were there for the taking, really. The last 4 home games they'd lost. I think normally when you go to Ipswich, it's they're a big club and they have a big following and it's loud and everything about it is intimidating. And without the fans in, I don't think Ipswich is an intimidating place to go. And I think they were lacking in confidence. Blackpool had 2 wins, although maybe the second one against Northampton wasn't the greatest performance, but we're still on a roll. And I thought we should have gone to win. I thought Critchley should have set up and gone to win. I didn't see the point of not going to win. I don't know what you think, but that's what I would have set it up as a winning side, not as a side to go and draw. And I was a little bit disappointed. I've looked on the forums, and it seems to be the same sort of opinion that people didn't like the starting selection. Hello, Haley. Your team is about to kick off, and you're going to win. You're leaving school in September. Brilliant. Mr. Moley's here. Hello, Mr. Moley. Mr. Moley says Stockport County pre-season at Colne. He brought quite a few. Was quite intense on the mixed terraces. Wow, even in a friendly. Blimey. There used to be quite a bit of argy-bargy at Stockport. I remember back in the day when Blackpool went there. But anyway, post your thoughts. I'm going to go through the team. I'm going to put something up. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the team that we had yesterday. Let's just put it up on the screen. There it is. Yeah, there it is. I'll pop that up there. I don't know if you can all see that. So let's just go through it. Let's start with the team. Let me get to my my picture of the team. Right. So obviously, starting off with Chris Maxwell. I don't think it was his greatest game yesterday. I know Jane's a great fan of Chris Maxwell, and he is a good goalkeeper. I thought I don't think he was actually at fault for the first goal, because I just think there was other reasons why, but it was a shot from quite a long way out and he seemed to be in the right position for it, and he didn't get a touch on it, and it came fast. Obviously it was a good shot, but I thought he maybe could have got a touch on it and didn't. I don't know what you guys thought on that. So Chris Maxwell first, in goals. I thought he was lucky in many respects to actually stay on the pitch. He could have got sent off, couldn't he? Little Matt talks footy. Hi, little Matt. Hello. How am I doing? It's going fine. How's it going with you? In fact, if I'm looking for people to come on this stream, so obviously you never know, if you're all set up, you maybe want to come on. Give us your thoughts. Yeah, so Chris Maxwell, not his greatest game. Could have got sent off. Was he at fault for the first goal? I don't think he was at fault, but I think he could have got a touch to it. I think it was a great shot. It just came, it really was a great shot, but I thought it was more or less at him, really, to be honest. It looked very much at him. Little Matt says, it's going good, thanks. Do you think we can still get into the playoffs? Yes, I do. I think there's still plenty of time, but I think time is running out, and I think we've really got to, put a run together. And I'm disappointed that we didn't put a run together. I think we should have done. I think just two wins on the bounce. You think going into confidence, going to an Ipswich side that just are not on form, and to set up the way we did, so negative, and to play the way we did. I mean, I thought, to be honest, first off, I thought we were the better side. I thought Blackpool were definitely the better side. I thought we had the best chances, although the problem was, again, the chances fell to defenders, didn't they? There was, people are saying that, Kai, and I'll get onto him a bit later on, or Eric Kai, of course, although I can say Sully now because we've not got Siri on, but he put two good balls in, and there was two great chances for Blackpool to score, and they were both flubbed, really, but they were both by defenders. There was no attackers in the box. If Ellis Sims had been there, he might have put one of them away. Right, Michael. Hello, Michael. Yeah. Hi, Lee. Kai was at fault for the first goal. And if Critch thinks he can get us in the playoffs with that midfield, he needs to think again. In many ways, I kind of agree with you, Michael. And I did at the time. I've been thinking about it overnight, and I've been reading on the forums what the opinions were on the forums. And, people are saying he did try and make a forward pass. It didn't come off. It got intercepted. But he wasn't trying to side with crabby pass. He wasn't, passing it 5 yards to a player. It was an adventurous pass, which you want players to see. It didn't come off, and we got punished. Now, did we get punished because Husband was too far up, and there was no cover on that? Where was that cover on the left back position for that ball going through? There was nobody there. So I don't entirely. I can't totally blame Kai, because I think that's the sort of pass. If it had come off, I think Blackpool could have scored. I think Blackpool should have scored. And I think if Blackpool had scored in that first, before they scored in the first half, I think we'd have gone on to win, because they were lacking in confidence. And I just think, we should have had two up front. Hi, John. You think we're mid-table, unfortunately? Well, it is looking a bit that way. We're not quite the finished article, are we? We're not consistent enough. Really, with 2 wins, we should have won yesterday, in my opinion. I thought we would win, actually. And like I just said earlier, if you just join the stream, normally when you go to Ipswich, you go to these big clubs like Sunderland, Ipswich, you go into really intimidating grounds. It holds 35,000. Okay, they're not 35,000 in, but they can have 15, 20,000 home fans, and it's intimidating. At this time, there's nobody in the ground. There's no home fans, so we shouldn't be put off. There should be nothing to scare us going to Ipswich, and we should have gone to attack them, not to defend against them. That's my point. That's my feelings on it anyway. Michael says Critch is too much of a tinker man, which will be his downfall in trying to get us out of this league. Yes, now here's the thing. I always think when you're playing well and you're on a roll, you don't bother setting up your team to defend against them. You go play to your strengths and play your best team, and let them worry about you. I just thought it was I thought we went with the wrong attitude. I'll get on to Critch. I mean, I like Critch. I'm not going to go too much into him, because I think he's learning. I think his substitutions were too late, if we're going to go on about Critch. And I just think that he made a mistake in the setup. I don't think Jerry Yates on his own up front was ever going to get us goals. I mean, we struggled to get goals anyway. We all know that. We've struggled to get goals, and yet he puts Jerry Yates. I know Medine's injured, so you can't do anything about that. So you've got to put somebody up with Jerry Yates, and there should have been somebody in that box, a striker, to get to those 2 shots in the first half. And there might have even been 3. I can't remember. There was 2 or 3 where we just put them wide of the post, but they all fell to defenders. And that, to me, was why we didn't score. Hi, Paul. Paul McAllister's here. Blackpool competed well until the first goal, then nothing. I'm a Critchley fan and I play well most of the season, but I see, saw no urgency after we conceded. Yeah, that was the thing, was it? We were never, ever going to get an equaliser, were we? It was just, we just didn't look like scoring in that second half. And I think that was really disappointing. I mean, their second goal was so fortunate. I mean, obviously Jerry Yates near corner gets an head on it and heads it right across, and perfectly for their striker to nod it in at the far post, unmarked. He was incredible. I mean, that header could have gone anywhere, but we just should have scored first. Really, we had chances to score first, and I keep saying because we only had one player on the up front in Jerry Yates, who to me that's not going to work. I don't think that was. I thought it was a daft way of playing, if I'm being honest, and I couldn't believe it when I actually saw the lineup. If I'm really being honest. Brian Thompson disagrees. Hiya, Brian. You disagree that we didn't go set up there to go for a win. Zonal marking was an issue, which is a training ground issue. The team changes game to game, so this has an impact. So you thinking that? I mean, what was the formation? It looked on the TV. They put it as a 4-4-1-1. I've read on the A View from the Tower, and they don't seem to think it was a 4-4. It seems to be a 4-3, 4-3-2-1 or something. Whatever it is, it's not how I thought it was. But I just see it seemed to me that Jerry Yates was playing a lone striker role up front. We don't score many goals. It's been our Achilles heel the whole season, and I didn't think having one up front was the way to go forward. And I think he should have gone. For me, he should have started with Sims and Yates. I would have given him another go because I just thought Ipswich were there for the taking, but obviously you disagree, Brian. I get that. You also say the goalkeeper in the greys. I think he's a really great goalkeeper, actually. I think he's a really, really good one. I think his position is right. I thought he was actually in the right position to save the shot. I just couldn't believe he didn't get a touch on it. Ellis Sims is not an Eamon O'Keefe just yet. Of course he's not. He's young and inexperienced, but I thought he did a half decent job. I mean, he's not going to be Gary Medine, obviously, up front, but I thought against Northampton Town, I didn't think he did too much wrong, to be honest. Whether Critch doesn't want to burn him out, but I think these young lads can take more than one game a week, surely. Michael's back again. Let's face the truth. Let's not kid each other. The midfield is too defensive to score goals. Okay. And Walker, sorry, what are you saying here? Matches we play well and then we lose. We can't keep winning 5 matches we can win and then lose 10 matches in a row. Well, we haven't lost 10 matches in a row yet, but I kind of get what you're saying. We can't just be banking on the games we can win. But I thought that was a winnable game. I really thought Ipswich yesterday. I was full of hope in that game, and I actually thought that Blackpool would go there. And I thought this was the time to change the history books and beat Ipswich, a team that weren't in form. They looked shaky in that first half. We had some great chances which fell to defenders because we had no strikers up front, and I just think I was a little bit disappointed. I must admit, I'm not suicidal over it or anything. I think we've got to get back into it and win again on Tuesday. I don't think it's the end of the world. I just thought it was a chance and we didn't take it. That's all really. I can't go too harsh on the team because I think they're a good side. Really, I think we're basically a good side. I just think we should have won. Paul McAllister, hi Paul. I don't blame Kai for the first goal. It was a poor pass, but a right decision for the pass. Yes, of course it was. It was a forward-thinking, attacking pass, which you like to see. You like to see those defense splitting passes, and if it had gone through, it would have been a goal. It was punished unbelievably. But why was it? Why was there so much space down that left hand side? What was Husband out of position? Had he run? Because obviously, they've got Husband. He's often up, isn't he? He's often in that attacking role. But what's the cover for him when he's up? Is this? I don't know. I don't know if that's always the greatest thing with Husband, to have him pushing so far forward all the time. Mr. Moley says, yeah, you need sideways passes are easy. You need players who try to play probing passes. They won't always come off, and sometimes they can lead to trouble. Well, yeah, we saw that yesterday, exactly. But I totally agree with you. Kai did what was right. He did the right pass. Those two players were on. He just didn't get it right, but he did try it. And I thought Kai had a pretty decent half in the first half. You know, he put 2 great balls across, which could have been goals. He just didn't. He just disappeared in the second half. I don't know whether that was because he blamed himself for them getting a goal. I don't know, but he did. John Bull 1 step forward and 2 back under Critch. Do you think? Blimey, that's harsh, isn't it? I don't think it's that bad. I think he's learnt a lot. I think we've played some great football. I've been pretty excited about it. I just think, you know, for me, if I'd have been at the club, I would have been advising him to be a bit more well to go with a 4-4-2. I would have gone with 2 up front, and I would have played you know, Ellis Sims up front with Yates. I really would. One Rovers Vlogs is here. Afternoon. Well done as well. Get a draw at Fleetwood yesterday. So they've still not gone back above us, which is great. Michael Haig says, Ipswich are nothing special. No, as I predicted yesterday, Judge was the danger man. He ended up being the best player on the park. Yeah, probably was. It probably was. And I think, you know, they were lacking in confidence, Ipswich. I thought you saw that in the first half. I thought, as I say, Blackpool had the best chances till they scored. And then when they got the second, all the pressure seemed to just, you know, fall off the shoulders. And I thought they just ran out comfortable winners in the end. I thought that, you know, I thought there was no danger of us ever getting an equaliser in that second half. Ipswich were playing with 4 players on the halfway line when we had a corner. What was that all about? I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. They had 4 players on the halfway line when we had a corner. Well, I think that was because we only had 4 up, didn't we? We didn't have many up, so they didn't need to pack the defence. We weren't packing the goal area out with players for corners. We really weren't. I think we were just playing with a few in the box, and that's probably why they could. One Rovers Vlogs. Afternoon, Lee. Keep smashing the content. Thank you very much. John Haley says the league is completely out of sync. Teams have games in hand like we have. At least Fairwood drew another blank. Yes, and we've got One Rovers just above you there, who's a Bristol Rovers vlogger, to thank us for that. Get them as a 0-0 draw. Mr. Moley says that managers often overcomplicate football. After 2 comfortable wins with no goals conceded, you should keep the same personnel and system as much as possible and go again. Well, I totally agree, and we couldn't keep the team together from the Wigan game because MJ Williams played in that one, and we got rid of him. So we couldn't do that. But injuries have stopped. You know the Medine injury. I've heard it's not too bad actually. I think he's going to be all right, Medine. I think I've heard along the Great Line a little bit that he's not too back, and he will be back maybe this week, maybe next week, but it's not as bad as they thought. So we should have Medine back, and I think we missed him yesterday. I think Medine would have been ideal for them. I think Medine, you know, if he was playing for another team and you know, we're coming up when we saw that Medine was in the team playing for the opposition, we're thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, it's Gary Medina. I think he has a big name for himself. I think he's a big player, and I think defenders fear him. I think he takes a lot of stick in the middle of the park, a lot of elbows and kicks and all the rest of it, and he holds the ball up so well. I think Jerry Yates thrives on that, and I don't think Jerry Yates is as good a player when he hasn't got Medine with him. And, I think we missed that yesterday, big style. And as I say, having 2 defenders, getting the best 2 chances of the half and putting them wide, just said for me that we just don't have enough attackers on. Yeah, well, that's the thing, innit? Football's strange, isn't it, John? Aki smash 6 and then draw 0-0. Well, you can't. No team goes and wins 6 every game. It doesn't happen. Reese Jefferson, hello, Reese. Can we still get the playoffs? Yes, of course we can. It's not over. I mean, there's a long way to go. There is a really long way to go. We've got a lot of home games coming up. We've just got to make sure that we play to our best strengths when we're at home, and I'm sure Critch will be more attack minded at home. I think he's a little bit defensive away from home. I think that's the thing with him. He's one of those, and most people would say if you win your home games and draw your away games, you're going up, and maybe he is of that philosophy. But I just thought it was a chance miss yesterday. I thought Ipswich were definitely there for the taking, and definitely on that first half performance, we should have scored. Mr. Moley says he doubts. He says we can, but he doubts we will. Reese reckons we'll finish 9th at the highest. Well, you could be right. It's a work in progress. It's not the team that we'd hoped it was going to be at the start of the season, but it's a new team, and you've just got to hope that. I mean, we've been a bit unfortunate, haven't we? We've had COVID comes in to mess us up. We've had injuries to obviously Medine, to CJ Hamilton. It's just unfortunately, without CJ, we're very one-sided. We're going down that left all the time, aren't we? Mainly down the left. Occasionally, Gabriel does shoot down the right, but again, his final ball wasn't brilliant, was it? Yesterday, I do like him, but his final ball wasn't good yesterday. I don't know, Michael. I don't think it's that bad. 4-3-2-1 system played yesterday's performance like this. Trust me, you can see you losing your job if the rot sets in. I don't think the rot will set in. I think he's just more defensive minded going away. I think his substitutions are very, very late. I thought we needed. Really, I thought we needed substitutes at half time. Never mind. And I can't understand why not make substitutions when you can make so many. There was gone are the days where you can, you use your 3 subs up, and then, like what happened at against Coventry last season, where we got the man injured, and then, we were down to 10 men in the last 5 minutes because he'd already used all his 3 subs. You haven't got that problem anymore. So I don't see the point of not using them. Posh Podcast, yeah, you're going to batter us next week. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You might well do. If we play like we did against Ipswich, you will. So if Medine's back, we might not. Michael Haig, Maxwell should have never been that far off his line and was very lucky to have not been sent off. Yes, he was very lucky. I totally agree with you. I thought it was insane, but he does come out, and normally it's okay, but he was really lucky with the yellow card yesterday. I agree with you, Michael. He was. Jay said he was probably he didn't go off because the player was going away from goal at the time, but blooming heck, he just took the player completely out, didn't he? Didn't nowhere near the ball. Sam Early is on. The fan base is overreacting to this so much. We lost a game against a decent side, albeit not an informed decent side. We'll have off days. People are forgetting how happy they were with him 4 days ago. I'm not unhappy with him, Sam, at all. I think I totally agree with you. I think it was just an off. It was an off day. I just didn't think, from the start of the game, I just didn't think that team was right. I didn't think it was right with having 2 new players. We've got Kevin Stewart and Elliot Embleton both coming in for a full match. Neither of them really played much in the team so far. I thought Elliot Embleton looked okay. I thought he looked all right. He had a great shot, which was saved by the keeper, wasn't he? It was a super shot in the first half. Is he any better than what we had already? Is he any better than Ward? I don't know. I just didn't think it was the right. I just didn't think it was the right team that went out. That's all. I don't think we have to overreact to it or get too upset about it. I just think it was. Yeah, I just think it was wrong. I think we should have gone with I think we should have gone with 2 up front. I think we should have gone to try and beat Ipswich because I thought they were beatable. I know they're a good side, but they were beatable. They were not on a good run. They haven't got that home support. They haven't got all those thousands there. And I thought yesterday was the time for us to finally beat Ipswich, and we blew it for me. Stephen Romer says, such a disappointment yesterday. The only good thing is we didn't lose 5-0. Not sure how we didn't. Yeah, there was a few chances in the second half where they were really on top of us, weren't they? I mean, that bit where, especially the one where Marvin sort of stepped over and then had to put a last ditch tackle in, that blimey. I mean, I thought Marvin Ekpiteta again was man of the match. I don't know what you think, but I think he was the one shining light in a team that didn't really play very well. I don't think Kenny Dougal's looked as good since he's had COVID. I don't think he's still back up to speed, if I'm being honest. I thought that Marv was the best player, and I thought I know they were appealing for a penalty, but I thought he did very well to sort of like prevent his mistake. But God, they had endless corners, didn't they? And like Michael's pointing out before, if Maxwell had got sent off, well, it could have been 5 quite easily. Ian Barron, hi. I know you mentioned this yesterday. The Darlington FC player Luke Charman is looking like he'll be out for 4 to 6 months due to an injury. That's a shame. That's a real shame. I mean, the only fortunate thing from, if there is a fortunate thing to come out of that, you keep telling me that football's going to get stopped at your level. So whether he's out for 4 or 6 months or not, it doesn't really matter because there's going to be no football anyway. So it's a shame he's injured and it's absolutely terrible. But it looks like he's not going to miss much football for you if he is out for 4 or 6 months because your league's getting cancelled. So hopefully that will be a good thing for him. Michael Hayes said yesterday was a 6-pointer. They were there for the taking. And as usual, Chris tinkers with the team when there was no need to change a winning formation. Well, maybe Michael, he will learn from this and start to, he's also got Colin Calderwood there who can advise him. And I'm sure, it is the old adage in football that you don't change a winning side. And he did, didn't he? He did. It's a shame. Well, I agree with you, Stephen. I still think we can get the playoffs as well. We've got some home games coming up. We've got to get 3 points on Tuesday, which was looking like it was going to be an easy game. But you saw yesterday that Burton beat Hull and they've strengthened. So are they going to be a bit more of a difficult, opposition than we thought they were going to be? I don't know. Right. Ian Barron saying, the Posh Podcast, you remember a wet Friday night at Old Wembley Stadium in 2000? Andy Clark winner. I was there. I'm a Darlington FC fan. Oh, I'm sure he does. Maybe he does if he's old enough. I don't know how old he is for that one. Michael Egg says, forget the playoffs. We're a million miles away from ever getting the playoffs. Build for next season with 3 or 4 more editions. We will be there or thereabouts. I've still got to believe, Michael. Sorry. I've still got to believe. I still think we have got a chance of the playoffs. Michael Haig, again, put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, we'll have a fiver with you on whether you're going to smash us or not. That would be okay. I don't think you will smash us for that. Stephen Cram asks, how many points do Blackpool need to reach the playoffs? Ooh, that's a good question. 68. I don't know. Where are we now? So can we have a look at the table? Maybe get the live table up. So table. Look at the table. Right. At the moment, Lincoln are top. They've played 25 and they've got 51 points. Hull are second. They played 26 with 48. Doncaster are third, also on 48 points, but they've only played 23 games. So it's looking to me like Doncaster, and they are playing really well, are going to go top of the league, I think. Peterborough are then behind them, played 25, 46 points. Portsmouth are fifth on 45, and Charlton in the bottom spot of the playoffs with 43 after 27 games played. Blackpool have played 24 games, so we've still got 3 games in hand on Charlton. So if we win our 3 games in hand, if we did, we would be level with Charlton, so we would actually be hitting the bottom of the playoff pack at 43 points. There's a few anomalies in there. You've got Sunderland have played 1 more game than us, so they could get to 44 on the same game on same games as us. As Charlton, so they will go in with 44. You've then got Accrington Stanley, who are the real dark horses. They played 1 less game than us, and they're on 41 points. So they could again theoretically go past Charlton. They've got 4 games in hand on Charlton. So I don't know, 68, maybe a realistic figure, Stephen. I don't know, but we're going to have to win to get 68 points, and we're going to have to double our tally. So I think it'll be more than that actually, because surely, I mean, we've played 24 and we've got 34 points, so we've still got 22 games to go. So we could quite easily get another 34 points just playing like we have. So I think it'll be more than that, Stephen. I'll probably go for, I don't know, probably around about 70. I think 74 maybe to get in the playoffs. Michael Haig says that Aki will get the final playoff spot, Lee. Trust me. I actually think Aki will. I don't think they'll get the final playoff spot. I think they could well be I think Aki could be top 2, or I think Aki could go automatically. I think they're playing really, really well. I don't think they'll have the bottom spot. I think the bottom spot is going to be between Peterborough. Looking at this, Peterborough, Portsmouth. I don't think Charlton are good enough. Maybe Ipswich could get in there. Oxford United are another team that were coming but have just lost the stride. I still think we've got a chance. Looking at that. Right, going back to the team. Let's just go back to the team. I said, just done Chris Maxwell. I thought Jordan Gabriel did okay yesterday. I don't think he had a bad game. I thought he got forward quite a lot. I think his defending has improved a lot. I think his final ball was a bit disappointing when he had the chances. He was into the box a few times and did nothing with it. Oh, Ryan Dunbar's here. Let's just go back to the comments quickly. Ryan's here. Ryan, personally, as much as I'm not critically out anymore, I still think we need a more experienced manager, not coach. Enough head coaches. We need a manager. Well, we haven't been saying that for the last few games, have we? Because he's been doing quite well. We weren't saying that when we beat Wigan 5-0. So I don't think we can want him out and want him in and want him out and want him in. I think he's growing in experience. I think he'll get better. I think he likes coaching. I think he'll develop the boys. I think he's got a plan, bringing academy boys through. I think the long-term project with Critchley looks really, really good. And I'm a big Critchley fan. I think it will work. And I think with experience and the things they're doing behind the scenes and the recruitment and the scouting, I think it can only get better and better. I don't think we need to change it. I really don't. No, I can't imagine Aki in the Championship, and I can't imagine him actually being in the Championship with that ground, to be honest. I don't think it's fit to be in the Championship. It's very much non-league. It's incredibly non-league. You know, they've got stands that have just got like 5 rows of seats and all that. It's nowhere near good enough. That open end that you have to stand on, it's bad. I like it because there's something very non-league about it, but that's what it is. It's a non-league ground. It's not fit for Championship. David Turner, hi David Lee. I think we'll be short at the end of the season by 3 or 4 points. No consistency in the team selection and results. Well, if we don't get that consistency and he doesn't stop messing about with winning formulas, then I think you're absolutely right, David. I think we're going to be short. I really do. I don't think we can make it. If he's learning his lessons and he wins these home games, we get on a run, anything can happen, but he's really got to learn his lessons. And we really need some important players back. If we could get CJ Hamilton back within the next couple of games, Gary Medine back, then we've got a chance. Simple as that. I just didn't think it was our strongest team. Not all down to selection by Critchley as well. I think we're down on the fact that we've lost key players. And I think CJ Hamilton is a big loss. I think Gary Medine was a big loss yesterday. Well, that's an interesting fact there. Brian, let's have a look at this. What's it? A quick calculation on yesterday's starting lineup. 1,617 games and 99 goals based on a 46-game season. We were 3.19 years experience. But goal-wise, we would score 30.9. You're going to have to explain that to me, Brian, because I don't get that at all, I'm afraid to say that. What does that mean? Can you kind of break that down so I can understand exactly what that means? It sounds interesting, but I don't get what you're saying, Brian, if I'm being honest. What? It sounds too good. I need to know what you mean. Stephen Cram says there's plenty of games yet. Go on a winning run, can't be ruled out. In regard to Critchley, he needs time. Stability is important, like we have at Wakefield Trinity with Andy Laston. Willie Potching starts at the bottom and grows. Well, I think Critchley will get better. I just think he's improving all the time. I thought it was a bit of a mistake yesterday, but hopefully he learns from it. Ryan says, I can see where you're coming from, Lee, but we are a Championship club, in my opinion. I believe a more experienced manager would take us up. I think I think we're a championship club in size and fan base. I don't think we're a championship club yet in players, if I'm being honest, Ryan. I don't think the players that we have yet are championship, and I don't think. I think we're. I think we're getting closer. I think we're getting closer. But no, I don't think we're yet championship on the pitch, and I think that's the problem. And whether an experienced manager would make these players championship, or whether we build as it looks like we're building with academies and all the rest of it, and coaching and just improving players. I think if Critchley can continue to improve players and bring them on, and the academy can continue to go from strength to strength, then I think when we're looking at a 2, 3, 4, 5 year project, I think you'll start to see the benefits of all this coming through. And I think we will be a very, very strong championship side then. I was a little bit disappointed with the transfer window, if I'm being honest. I thought we needed to bring a striker in, especially when Medine was injured. I didn't think we brought them in, and I know strikers are probably hard to get, but I think we needed somebody. There's people keep telling me in the streams all the time that we've got a couple of outstanding young talent, big strikers in the youth who could maybe sit on the bench. Maybe they will at home. Maybe he doesn't fancy it away from home. He's a bit more cautious away from home, isn't he? I think we'll all agree on that. He's a more cautious manager when we go away. Right, Brian, in the 2019-20 season in League One, only Bolton scored less than 30.97 and they came 23rd. Yeah, so our average of goals is not good, is it? It's not good. That's the problem. We needed a striker. Paul McAllister says, I agree with what you just said about Critchley long term, but when we conceded just before half time, Pill needed a bit more fight in the second half. Unfortunately, I didn't see that. No, and I didn't see it either. Was that down to Critch, do you think? Was that down to the players? Or was it down to him not bringing substitutions on quick enough? What do you think? What's that? Michael Higgs, it's the worst post he's ever seen on League Channel TV. Keep your post simple. Well, yeah, he's obviously trying to explain something which we need to know. So maybe it just needs breaking down so we can understand it. Oh, Michael Higgs says, there we are. Just to change the subject. No Time to Be Hungry is a great Thai cooking site for Jane's Thai Cooking on YouTube. We'll have to sort it out. Jacob Brown says, Critchley's time, first year in men's football, and got us playing better football than Larry did, and he was experienced. And I agree with you, Jacob. I have been saying quite a lot of times, and I'm going to go back to it. Some of the football that Blackpool have played over this season has been some of the best football that I've seen Blackpool play in years. We're not consistent. Sometimes we tinker around with it a little bit too much for me, but I agree with you. I think some of the football that Blackpool have played, I think we've just been a little bit unlucky with CJ Hamilton's injury. I think if he'd have stayed fit, I think we'd be miles above where we were. Michael Haig says, Ewan Banglot's a good prospect who plays for the youth team, got potential. Yeah, there's somebody else. There was another player that they were mentioning yesterday in the stats as well, who another 6-foot-odd young lad who's a real. Some people mention, I can't remember his name, so sorry, I just can't remember what it was called. But yeah, there's a couple of young hopefuls in the reserves. Right, going back to the team, I've done Chris Maxwell. As I said, I think he was lucky to stay on the pitch, and I think I was surprised he didn't get a touch on that shot. Really, it was a long way out, and he was in a good position for it. Jordan Gabriel did okay, no complaints about him really, apart from his final ball when he had a few crosses. Marvin was my man of the match. Jordan Thornley, again, he's one of those players that I never really notice. I don't notice him so much. I don't think he did anything particularly wrong. Husband, moving on to Husband, I just thought that where was he? He seems to be pushing forward a hell of a lot, Husband, and I don't think he's got the pace to get back sometimes. So we got caught out. probably nobody saw that Kai wasn't going to make the pass, and we got caught out. So I don't know about James Husband. I quite like him at times. I think he's solid. There's a lot of people saying we should have Garbett in, or whether we should have even Garbett push further up front so he's cover for James Husband. They could interlock. And I think I agree with what a few people have said on the forums as well. I think Garbett puts a great ball in. His balls in are better than Husband's, and his set pieces are really good as well. So I would have probably had Garbett in probably more than I would have had. I don't know whether I would have maybe not gone with Elliot Embleton, put him on the bench, and or maybe Kemi Stewart. I don't know whether you go with it's hard to decide, but I just think that Garbett brings a bit more to the team. I would have maybe looked at having him in, throwing one in there for you to think about. Let's just go back in the comments a little bit, because it's quite a few while I've been reading that. Yeah, Wardy, go on to your Wardy at 03. We needed the subs at half time to get the boost in the second half. I would have made a sub at half time. I must admit, I just, although probably from Critch's point of view, when you're looking at that half, I thought we were unlucky to go in a goal down. We should have gone in either a goal up or all square, because we should have scored. We had a couple of great chances. We had that shot from Elliot Embleton, which was a great shot, and the keeper did pull a great save off to save that shot. It bounced in front of him as well, and he did really well. So I thought, that could have been a goal. And there was there might have even been 3 chances to put it in the back of the net, but they all fell to defenders. Every single one fell to a defender in that box in the first half, and I think that is just where, if we'd have had Ellis Sims on, he would have scored. If he'd have been in that position, he would have scored. And I think that was the problem. We just didn't have enough strikers on the pitch. I think we should have been going in at half time winning. JJB, hello JJB, 1053. Do you think we could get Gabriel on a permanent at the end of the season? I'd like to. I think he's really good, actually. I think he's a really good player, and I think I really would like to get him on a permanent, if I'm being honest. But I don't know if we will. I don't know if Forest will. Although Forest have got loads of fullbacks. According to Door, he says they've got loads of him. So maybe there's a chance if he's not in the plans. Paul McAllister said, at halftime, it's the coach's job to motivate the team. I'm being critical about yesterday, but please know I'm a Critchley fan. Doesn't help when you live in Ipswich. Yes, I'm sure it doesn't help at all. I bet it's blooming awful there. But if you've lived in Ipswich all the time, you must be used to it, Paul, because we've never ever won there. So you must be pretty hardened to it in Ipswich. But I must admit, you're probably like me. You thought we had a real good chance to win this one, and we didn't. Stephen Cram says he saw Kenny Dougal at Barnsley and looks at an excellent player. A few quality players like a striker who can help Gary Medine. Yeah, I think Kenny Dougal was the difference when he came in. I thought he made the difference to Blackpool. I thought he played a lot better with him in. I just don't think he's looked as good since he come back from COVID. I don't know whether he's struggling a bit with it, but he didn't look as good. I can't remember who was playing with him in midfield at the time when we started. Would it be Keshi was in there with him at the time? I don't know. Maybe he needs some a more attacking. I don't think Matty Virtue really worked on the right, if I'm being honest. I didn't think it was his best position out on the right. I didn't think he did too good. All right, here we go. David Turner. Brad Holmes, age 18, goal machine in the academy. Well, there we are. Hopefully we'll see a few of these players maybe getting on the bench. Would I rather Preston get relegated or Fleetwood get promoted? Well, obviously Preston getting relegated. I wouldn't want Fleetwood to get promoted, would I? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously Preston getting relegated. There's no way I want to see Fleetwood getting promoted. So, no, yes, Preston relegated on that one. Yeah. Jacob Brown says, I think Yates personally struggles to play alone up top unless he's provided support by Hamilton and Medine. Yes, he does. He does suffer on his own, and I don't think it was Yeah, I don't think it was good. I don't think it worked yesterday with Yates on his own, and I totally agree with you. He feeds off Medine, but you can't. Medine wasn't fit, so it had to be. But I would have probably put Ellis Sims up with him again. Proud to be posh is back. All right, proud to be posh. Reese. Oh wait, the more I read it, it sounds more stupid. Yes, it is rather stupid. What would I rather have? Preston going down or Fleetwood going up? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I wouldn't want. Oh, I want Fleetwood going up, but I definitely want Preston going down. Yes, I'd love Preston to go down. I'm fine, proud to be posh. How are you? I'm fine. Apart from the result yesterday, but it's only one game. It's not a season. We're just going through the game yesterday in a game that I thought Blackpool had a chance to win and didn't set up to win. We didn't set up to win. It was, in my opinion, I didn't think it was our best lineup. Yeah, Stephen Cram saying, yes, give you the chance. Michael Owen years ago at 17 with Liverpool and Wayne Rooney at Everton. It could be the best way forward for Blackpool long term. Yeah, of course. If these players are playing fantastic in youth football and they're banging goals in, then get them on the bench. Yeah, the posh won yesterday, didn't they? So you're back on form. You're still up there. You've got a chance. I've got to admit, you've got more of a chance than we have at the moment. That is for sure. Right, just let's move on. The team, Kenny Dougal. Just as I said, I don't think he's fit yet from his COVID. I don't think he's as fit as he was. Kevin Stewart, he's not setting the world afire for me. I've got to admit, I don't think he's been really brilliant, if I'm being honest, since he's come with us. I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's maybe up to speed yet. So I'll just reserve judgment on him, if I'm being honest, unless you think otherwise. Kai, he divides opinion, doesn't he, at the moment? He is a very talented player, but for many people, he doesn't bring it often enough. I thought he had a decent first half. I thought maybe he blamed himself for their goal and just became a shadow of himself in the second half. He didn't play half as good in the second half as he did in the first. And I think his confidence is not great. Proud to Posh is saying, how long is Medine out for? We don't know yet, but I have heard kind of through the grapevine that he's not, he should be back soon. It's not as bad as they feared. That's all I can say. I can't say any more than that. Elliot Embleton, he had a great shot in the first half, didn't he? He had a really good shot, which could have been a goal. He put himself about a bit. He's not very tall, which I think I don't always think it's a good thing, but he's quite a stocky lad, quite strong. Maybe he'll get better as he has time training with the team and knows what they're doing. I just thought, for me, I thought putting Stewart and Embleton both in was probably a mistake for me. I would have had one on the bench. I wouldn't have played them both. I keep saying I would have had Garbutt. I may have put Garbutt up a bit, had Garbutt in front of Husband. I think might have been the better option. Massey Virtue didn't do much, did he really? If I'm being honest, in that game. But again, he was out on the right. I didn't think it worked. And then finally, Jerry Yates just didn't work on his own, did it? It didn't work for me. It did not work. Jerry Yates or Gary Medine? I would have to go Gary Medine. If you were to ask me for one or the other, I would go Gary Medine, simply because I think he holds the play up so well for the team that I think all the players up front can feed off him. And I think Jerry Yates needs Gary Medine. I don't think Gary Medine needs Jerry Yates as much as the other way around. So I'd have to go Gary Medine on that one. Even though I like Jerry Yates, and I thought his goal on Tuesday was unbelievable. I thought it was absolute class, but I don't think he can do those sort of things if he doesn't have somebody up there to feed off. And I think that was the problem. Posh podcast. You're talking to Proud to be Posh, right? Okay, right. So we're having we've got two Peterborough fans in. Yeah, who are you playing, by the way? Peterborough, who have you got on Tuesday? So we know what you're talking about, because I haven't got a clue. Who are you playing? Jacob Brown says, how long is CJ? Well, how long is a piece of string? I wish I knew the answer to that one, Jacob. I don't, unfortunately. Ipswich. I think you'll beat them then, in that case. I don't think Ipswich are anything. I don't think they were a good side. I didn't think they were a good side at all. I think we let them win. That's that. And we gave them a goal. We gave them an unbelievable goal. I mean, unlucky. Jerry Yates nodding it on at the near post from a corner and just putting it right to the far post for them to nod in was quite unbelievable. Stephen Cram says that Critchley learnt under Klopp at Liverpool. Give him time and sure Blackpool can have a good future. Chris Chester at Wakefield since 2016. The forward is sticking with a good coach through the good and the bad times. Yes, I think you do. Nick Muller is here. Hi, Nick. Yes, he did beat. So you didn't beat us a 7-0 you predicted the other day, but you went for 3-1. So, that was about right. 2-0. You weren't far off, Nick, to be honest. I didn't think Ipswich were all that good, if I'm being honest, Nick. I thought Blackpool were the better side in the first half. I thought we should have been up, and I think you scored a bit against the run of play. It was a great goal. No mistake in that. I just think the gift of the second goal, and that was it really. We never looked like scoring against you, and I think Ipswich just coasted to the win in the end. Gave them the confidence they didn't have in the first half, and I think that's how it came out. But I don't think they are special. No, I agree with you, Proud Posh. I don't think they're a great side this season. I don't think there's a hope in hell of Ipswich going up. I really don't. If I'm being honest, I don't. I think there's too many strong teams in that league at the moment for Ipswich to do it this season. I'm sorry to tell you, Nick, but that's my thoughts on that. I'm afraid to say. I think there's Lincoln are on fire. I think Hull have had a little bit of a blip, but I think they'll come back. I think Doncaster Rovers are just going from strength to strength. You got Accrington Stanley, who are also pushing for it. I don't know. I think even Oxford are a team that slipped up yesterday, but could be there and thereabouts the end of the season. Whether Blackpool can do it, maybe not. But we still have a chance if we could turn it around. But I just can't see Ipswich making it. I'm sorry. Well, our pitch is all right, Nick, if I'm being honest. It looks beautiful, Blackpool's pitch. So your pitch was shocking yesterday, actually. Yeah, I think you will have to get lucky, Nick. I think you absolutely will. If you're going to get up, you're going to have a lot of luck, because you don't look much to me, if I'm being honest. It's always going to be Messi for me, Reese. Always Messi. I can't stand Ronaldo. I'll never forgive him for his wink. So I just can't stick him. Whether he's a good player or not, I just don't like him. Right, I think that's it. I think I've been through the whole team. I'll take a last few comments and that, and then we'll get off. Maybe we could do the subs. Maybe I mean, Ellis Sims came on and he really didn't look so good. If I'm being honest, he didn't look half as good. The ball bounced off him quite a few times. He didn't really control it very well. But again, it's one of those things. We all say he's fantastic, but he came on against Wigan and we were 3-0 up and Wigan were falling to pieces and he scored 2 easy goals. When you come on and you're down 2-0, it's a different game. And maybe he's not quite as good as we think he is, all right to come on. If we were 2 up, he might, he might have done better. Yes, it did. The wink was a joke, and he did cheat, and he did get them sent off, and it did cost us. And I'll never forgive him for it. Sorry, it's just one of the things with me. I just don't. It's like I never liked the hand of God goal, and that just, I never liked it. I never liked that either. I could never say Diego Maradona was one of the greatest players ever, even though he probably was. I just never forgave him for the hand of God goal. Brian Thompson said, before that, Posh Podcast, you're just asking who we're playing. We're playing Burton Albion on Tuesday, so it is a chance, but they did beat Hull on Saturday, so we don't know. We thought we were going to win that one easy, but we're not too sure now. Brian Thompson says, not sure if Alex Foticek is still at the club. We're hearing good things about Jack Sims, both only 21, 22. Perhaps we should have had an experience back up to Maxwell, and Sims could have gone on loan again. Yeah, I don't think Jack Sims is ready yet, to be honest. I think he's going to be a good keeper coming on, but I still think he's a bit too young. I don't think there's any problem with the goalie at the moment. I think Maxwell's a good goalkeeper. I think he's been great for us this season. I can't knock Maxwell. I just didn't think he did great to get to that goal. I think he could have got to it. I think it was right at him. Stephen Cram says, are you looking forward to the Brett Ormond interview? Yes, I am. It's not this Thursday. It's a week on Thursday. Remember that. It's not this Thursday. It's the week after, Stephen. So don't be here. Don't be here this Thursday because it's not on. It's the week after. Turbotic, hello. You're late to the stream. Well, it doesn't matter. You can always watch it on the replay. We've only been talking about yesterday's game. Nick was late as well. Yes, of course. We're going to go in a minute because we finished. I've been on here an hour and I've said all I can say, really. I think summarizing it, I just think we didn't go with an attacking formation. I didn't think we went to beat Ipswich. We went to really kind of either nick a win or defend a draw. I thought it was the wrong tactics. I thought it was a good time to play Ipswich. Yeah, Richard Bright was 17 on his debut. Yeah, it is young, but these players do, these players do come through at 17 and even younger sometimes. It's if you're good enough, you're old enough kind of thing. So, but I don't think our youth are ready yet. It's a work in progress, but they are playing very, very well, Nick. So maybe in a few years' time, we'll start to see some of these kids coming through. That's it for me. I don't know. That's all I can say about it, really. I just think we set up wrong against Ipswich. I didn't think the team selection was right. I didn't think the formation was right. I didn't think Yates up on his own was good. And I just think, as I said before, because the chances came to defenders in the first half who fluffed the lines when they should have scored against Ipswich, we had a few gifts really to hit it and we put them wide, and it's because we didn't have enough strikers on the pitch. Who's on the football podcast tomorrow? I don't know yet because we set it all up tonight, so I can't tell you. Reese is saying, do you remember Bright Samuel for Blackpool? Well, unfortunately, Bright Samuel was playing in the Not a Penny More years. I wasn't going to football then, so I don't know much about him, really, to be honest. We weren't going to football matches. We were on a boycott. Right, folks, thank you very much. I'm going to get off. That is me. I've done it all. Hopefully, I am, by the way, I did put on the thumbnail that I am looking to make this with a bit of a panel if we can. We can have a few of us on and talk about it, which would be a bit more interesting than me waffling on just all about it on my own. So I am looking for, you don't necessarily have to be a Blackpool Football Club vlogger or blogger. You can just be a fan as long as you're one of these people that's at home and does like Zoom calls and has a decent microphone and you know how to light yourself up so you look all right on a Zoom call. If you've got those techers and you're mad Blackpool and you're passionate about Blackpool and you'd just like to be on the show and give your opinion, then I am looking for people to come on this with me. So get in touch with me. You get in touch with me on Twitter if you follow me at Lee Charles TV and just send me a message and say you'd be interested in coming on as a panel guest on these things, because we're going to do them after the game, a bit of review the day after. We can do them in the afternoons as well. It seems to be just, I know it's not the busiest time, but people are sat around doing nothing at the moment in lockdown. So a lot of the guys are enjoying just having something to chat about in the afternoon. So it will be after the game. So the next one I'll be doing will be Wednesday this week after the Burton Albion game. So get in touch with me before then if you'd like to be on. But that's all you need. You just need to be able to know how to, set yourself up to look good on a Zoom call. If you're one of those people that's phoning people on Zoom and how lighting works and you've got at least a decent microphone or a headphone mic or something that sounds all right, so we get 4 of us say on the screen that are looking pretty good, then that's what I'm looking for. So if you've got any mates that would like to do that, who would like to come on and be a panel guest, and we can do man of the match and player reviews and just talk about the game, and it would be really good. So that's it. I'm going to get off, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all. We'll be back here. I'll be back here actually on Monday for the tomorrow night for the Football Vloggers podcast, where we have, if you've not been on before, we have a few guests in from different clubs like Nottingham Forest and Sheffield Wednesday and Charlton, and obviously Ben from Fleetwood. And we just basically talk about football, about how the weekend's gone for our clubs. It's quite an interesting show. It's all live. We have a live phone in after 9 o'clock if you want to phone in with questions. It can be about football. It can be about football vlogging, or doing your own live streams or anything. That's the time to ask us those questions. So I'm back tomorrow night, and then I'll be back on Tuesday night from 6:30 for Burton Albion at home, and I will see you all then. I say, if you're watching this video now and you're interested in being somebody who comes on the stream regularly, mad Blackpool fan, knows what they're talking about, opinionated, up for a bit of a laugh, that kind of person, then get in touch with me, please. It would be great. I'd love to have you on. Thanks a lot for watching. See you all tomorrow night, or we'll see you on Tuesday against Burton. Thank you. Jane will be back, obviously, in her seat. Ta-ra, folks.